here with Jamie Wyman of the Jamie Wyman Band. She's been playing music here in the Valley for a while now, and she's got this really great folk rock sound, really expressive lyrics, just really great stuff. So yeah, we're at the Blue Star Resort. We're in these cool zones they just built, these little pods that people can rent. They're really beautiful. They're made by the people who run the resort, right? And you do stuff here all the time, is that right?
Yeah. So Tanya Rita and Jen run the place, and Tanya Rita and I have done some collaboration where she teaches yin yoga and I do these loops, taking pieces of my songs and making them into sort of meditative loops, and it kind of just like takes people deeper into these like seated poses, super restorative, kind of lets you release things. But yeah, I love Blue Star. It's like great event space, retreats, all sorts of cool things like crystal bowl meditations and ecstatic dance and things happen out here. So.
Jamie, how long have you been playing music?
I've been playing music for about 12 years, officially. I started learning piano when I was 5 and then took a big break. I played for my whole life because my grandma was a piano teacher, like as a kid, and then I didn't do music for a while. So when I was 30, I decided to join a band.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what made you want to go back to music?
I just had always wanted to sing in a band. I don't know why. And I sort of forgot how much I wanted to. And when I joined the band, I had a friend from college say, "Oh, you're finally doing it. You've been talking about that forever." But I didn't know it had been such a part of my thought process. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to sing.
Totally.
So I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah. How'd you find the band?
Craigslist.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there was an ad in Craigslist that said, if you like Janis Joplin and Bonnie Raitt and a couple other people, and you think you have a pretty good voice, even if you don't have any experience, let us know. We need a singer. And I was like, that is written for me.
Yeah, that's so lucky. Was that here in the Valley?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that first band was called Sun Raven Band.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so you were playing that kind of like, you said Janis Joplin, was it like more rock music?
We actually weren't, we just played mostly original music that one of my bandmates had written. A couple of them were songwriters, and it was a string band. We didn't have drums, and I don't really know how else to describe that.
Yeah.
It was a banjo. And
yeah.
So, yeah.
All the fixins.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you're playing with a band, with a cover band. When did you start really digging into songwriting?
About a year, sort of in that year that I was in that band, I started to get songs coming to me. It's like I just needed a little instigation and being able to watch other people write songs. So I started to get my own songs. Those first few were not great, as can be expected.
Yeah.
But then I decided I should start to relearn the piano, so that's what I started with. I've since moved to the guitar, but short stop with a ukulele and then to the guitar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, so just sort of, I just started getting songs. I'm huge into lyrics. That's my main thing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your music really, I think you can hear that when you listen to your music. It's very lyric forward, and I'm a lyrics person too, so maybe that's like why I noticed it.
Yeah.
When you're coming up with lyric ideas, like what kind of stuff inspires you?
I don't write very many love songs. I'm actually really inspired by overcoming obstacles type of a thing, or any topic that I do take, I try to, most people don't really like happy songs. I don't know if you've noticed, even songs that sound happy are not actually happy songs.
Yep.
But I always try to take topics that are like real emotional based things and turn them into like hope. So, I have a song about being tired, like being just like worn out. The first song that I wrote, or the first good song that I wrote, I should say, was after a really long day at Child Protective Services, where I was a social worker. I had saved a baby's life that day, and that didn't happen very often. Most days it was really hard and I didn't know if I was doing the right thing or not. So I came home and I just this song just came out of me. It was like either that or tears probably. I was exhausted, and That was one of the first songs I wrote, but it was called Keep Asking Why. Why don't your parents want to pay attention to you? You know, like, let's keep asking until we find out what's going on here, you know?
Yeah.
Sort of for that child, but also for all the children that are being neglected.
Yeah. Are you still doing child protective services stuff?
Nope, that only lasted about 1.5 years, and I think actually the band got me through that. Like, every Sunday I would just go do music, and singing is a physical expression of, like, you can just get all the emotions out that way, and just emotionally too. So that didn't last very long. I was really burned out. I'd done some other stuff leading up to that, domestic violence and sexual assault advocacy, went to law school. It was like just a lot of heavy stuff for many years.
Well, with those kinds of jobs, you do need like a big emotional release, I think. So that makes a lot of sense that music was that for you. So you were in your first band for a little while. When did you decide to kind of start your own project?
That band kind of just fell apart about 1.5 years, and about the same time that I quit the social work.
Yeah.
And I just needed a break. So I just kind of started going to like open mic nights and jam nights to really learn how to do it, how to perform, how to share my songs. It was really vulnerable to do that. And then it just slowly started turning into something that I decided I wanted to pursue. Just kind of evolved.
Yeah.
So.
Was it, how many members are in your band? Like, what's the band made
So
of?
the band actually started in 2020, July. We were our little pod, and it's had a lot of iterations. My husband, Andy Belsky, is the bass player and
Cool.
has been the whole way. So it's been kind of our project to put the full band together.
Oh, neat. Is it cool to play with your husband like that? Is that something that you guys share?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we actually met he was holding jam sessions in his garage, and that's kind of how we got to know each other, just as friends first.
I want to talk a little bit about the last EP you put out, Magic Potion.
Yeah.
I really like it. I love the sound of it. It kind of has this like dark, witchy in a good way sound, but like you were mentioning earlier, very positive messages in like all of the songs, or at least, you know, most of the songs I heard. What was the creation of that like? What was like the inspiration behind that?
Yeah, so the title comes from the song Spinning Out, which is a song I wrote. I sometimes get vertigo, and I had a really bad bout of vertigo that inspired a song. It was like 4 days of lying in bed, trying not to throw up.
Yeah.
And but also when you're laying there for that long, it's like you get to think about everything, and just the world was crazy, as it usually is, and can also kind of feel like vertigo. Like 1 minute you're okay, and then all of a sudden just everything spins. It's like such a good metaphor for life. Like,
yeah.
You think you're good, and then whew. So it says, please find me the magic potion. Too much movement with no motion, please find me the magic potion. So that's where the title of the album came from.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was a really fun group of people to make an album with. We record up in Canada, outside of Calgary, at OCL Studios. It's like a residential recording studio.
Neat.
And it's like our home away from home. I could just stay there. I like to pretend no one else ever goes there. It's like,
yeah,
it's just mine.
Just your little space,
my
waiting
space.
for you
Yeah.
when you're gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only are your lyrics very good, but like you have a lot of very catchy songs.
Yeah, thanks.
How do you like, is it hard for you to kind of like, do those kind of catchy melodies just like pop in your head? Do you like have an outside inspiration for that, or?
I usually get words and melody at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Kind of, I get things just stuck in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like the song Humankind was just sort of, we're humankind, be kind, we're humankind, was just like stuck on loop in my head, and I didn't really know what to do with it. And then Andy and our former guitar player, Garrett Tovey, kind of wrote this song together with the music. And usually I don't start with music, but like I had these lyrics and they had this music, and we paired it together. But like that loop, the melody loop gets stuck in my head, So I'll usually start with a few words or like one line, and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
fill out the rest of the song.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you've been working on a new album too.
Mm-hmm.
What's the process of that been like? Not to be a broken record, but like, what's all gone into that?
Yeah, this is what I'm really excited to talk about, because it's been a couple years in the making, but it's going to be called Return to the Mothership, and it's a 22-track rock opera,
Oh, cool.
which means it's a story. You have to
Mhm.
listen to it from start to finish. There will be songs you can listen to separately, but it's meant to be listened as a story, and it's based on the heroine's journey, and like it coincides with the major arcana of the tarot deck.
Cool.
So each song is going to have its own kind of meaning that matches up with those cards. But it's really kind of a soundtrack especially for women who are trying to make the world a better place, and the ups and downs of doing that. So based on my own experience from like doing social work and stuff like that, but just like, you know, one minute you're like, yes, we're gonna do something, it's gonna be great, and then the next minute it's like, what am I doing here? Why is this so hard? And just all of that, ups and downs, and the enemies you meet along the way, and the, you know, any storyline, you know, just like it's got that story in it.
Cool.
So.
With the tarot, that's so interesting. Is there like a card in particular? I don't know, I'm thinking about like I like tarot too. Is there like a card that relates to a song that maybe you could give us like a little sneak peek about, even just like explaining it?
Yeah, let me think. Okay, so I have a song that I wrote for my aunt. My aunt passed away a couple years ago, and the night that she passed at like 9:00 in the morning, but I think her spirit probably left in the middle of the night, because I woke up at 1:30 in the morning with a song, and I had to get out of bed, record this thing in my head. I got back in bed, and then I got another piece, so I had to get out and record that on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
But it was about, I was able to be with her in the last lucid moments of her life, and she said to me, she'd had a really hard life and was most of the time not a very positive person, was always kind of scared of everything, but in her last moments she was like, maybe this is a good time to go, because there's so much love here. And she was just like, it was like this super powerful moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's going to be paired with the moon.
Yeah.
The moon card, and just that, like, what we don't see, that stuff that's in the shadow. The sun shows us clearly, like, that's the exciting card, like the sun, you're on a good path, and then the moon is more like, what's helping you from your shadow, what's hindering you from your shadow. And anytime someone passes away, it's like, we get this like renewed sense of like, we have to live while we're here, you know. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of the moon message of that.
The moon is like revealing kind of like what goes on behind the scenes a little bit, like the inner workings.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to fact check myself on that. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
like an expert or anything.
Yeah.
So do you have like a release date set for the album? Or
I think
time?
I think it'll be in the fall. That's
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm hoping to do some touring on that, so.
Nice. Yeah. Are you going to be playing around this summer?
I actually don't have anything on the books right now because I'm so focused on making this album.
Yeah.
Just decided to get it out because it's a big project. So, cool. Yeah. I'm sure I'll play somewhere.
You know, I usually don't ask, but since you did bring your guitar,
yeah,
and you sang something beautiful for me earlier, is there anything from the new album that you could just play a little snippet of that you'd feel comfortable sharing?
Yeah, totally. The one that's not
the one
out
that's
yet?
not out yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll be playing some at the show. So.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I can. Yeah. Actually, this one is on set list, but it's just really pretty.
The Jamie Wyman Band is performing next Friday, May 2nd at the Daily Interlake in our Press Play concert series. The show starts at noon. Hope to see you there.